common sense. Anybody knows you gotta keep your worlds apart. This is not good. Worlds are colliding.
You know what happens then?
Oh yeah. Welcome to the first incursion here at Secret Pods. It's your boy Dennis, aka Old Dirty Dennis. If you found me randomly, hey, what's up? If you're coming over from the Mighty Metahumans podcast, you know what I mean? You already know what it is, gang. So why? What is this? What's the point of this, Dennis? Don't you have a podcast already? Oh my God, did something happen? Did y'all break up? What's going on? Explain. No, not at all. Everything still all good. So the Mighty Metahumans for me kind of came like, it was to fill a void. The idea that I wanted to hear people that talk like me, talk about the things that I'm interested in. And honestly, frankly, up until that point, it just didn't resonate. It felt mass safe. It felt cheeky. Sometimes it felt corny. And because of that, it kind of gave birth to, the Mighty Metahumans. And honestly, that's worked out exactly the way I've always envisioned it. And I don't expect that or want that to change. Right. And I was so lucky to find someone who shared that same vision and we formed the pod together. So obviously, shout out to my guy, Pizza Parker. But what does any of that have to do with Secret Pods? Well, let's use music as an example, right? The Mighty Metahumans would be wu-tang. It's 36 chambers. And as you know, no one entity is bigger than the collective, right? Because that's your foundation. So as the Mighty Metahumans continues to grow, so do the ideas. You know what I mean? We're creatives. That gave birth to the Night Deviant, who has a podcast. It gave birth to the Gene Lanterns, which has a Patreon. It gave birth to the Danger Room, and we use that now in in-person interviews, So if that's 36 chambers, this is Liquid Swords. This is Supreme Clientele. This is Method Man Solo. This is Takal. You know what I'm saying? So yes, this is a solo mission. And in my mind, I kind of don't want guests. I'm not looking to interview anyone. This is really just to kind of share my thoughts and, feelings on different topics. Think of it more like a multi-episode TED Talk, you know? Like when you're in the house and you're talking to yourself and like answering yourself. This is like that, but with an audience. I think there's an audience. I don't know. And I kind of learned so much from the Mighty Metahumans. I feel like I can now navigate this space a little better. I mean, I should, right? I've only been doing a podcast for like 4 years. So I don't know if this is going to be this might be bi-weekly, I think. I think that's where I'm going to go. I'm not sure yet, but we'll figure it out as we go. And it also won't be too polished. You might hear background noises. Listen, I live in New York. All I know is noise. So you're going to get the full New York experience at some point. So what am I talking about on this new audio adventure with you guys and gals? Is it comics, movies? Is it life, health, art, ranting, motivating? Honestly, the answer is all the above, Someone recently said to me, Dennis, you aren't complicated. You're layered. And that stuck with me because I believe it to be true. Like there's different parts to my personality and I relate that to the different universes in the Secret War storyline. Incursions happen and they all converge onto this one planet and do battle. Except here, there aren't alternate personalities. It's just different facets of me, And I use those different facets and experiences to talk about various topics that I find interesting. And that is the idea of worlds colliding. And that's why it's called Secret Pods. Huh? See how I connected that? Full circle? The professionalism of am I right? Look, I'm always going to relate things to either Seinfeld or comics. You're going to learn that on this journey. Speaking of comics, just to kind of tie in the logo inspiration, the Mighty Metahumans logo was inspired by the X-Men. Surprise, surprise, right? Based on the idea that our talents, whether drawing, entertaining, overall creativity, video editing, singing, comedy, sports, etc., like those are our mutant abilities, right? And the Night Deviant, being a spinoff of that, had its logo inspired by the New Mutants, which, stems from the X-Men. So it was only obvious to me that, coming up with this idea for Secret Pods, it would be inspired by the Secret Wars logo, And, I like to believe there's a story behind what we do. And especially how I create images and logos for all these different projects, especially for the podcast. It's is why I refer to episodes as issues, right? Because to me, this is like a giant comic book, like all the shows are. And if you get through them all, it's kind of like an omnibus. I know that's kind of crazy, right? But there's always a why, because without the why, you're aimless. The why keeps you on track. The why reminds you why you're doing what you're doing. And in those moments of like frustration and doubt, it's kind of like your mental pep talk. So I do hope you guys enjoy this little experiment. We'll go through all the little bumps and bruises that come with the process of starting something new together. If there's anything you want me to talk about, reach out. I'm on all social media sites as Old Dirty Dennis. That's OLDIRTYDENNIS. You can find my art and greeting cards on Etsy. That's artbyden.etsy.com. That's DENN. So, till the next battle, stay worthy. It's your boy. Welcome. But also, peace